All right, so today I am going to do an 8x8 inch oil painting, and it's going to be a still life done in neutral colors. All right, so I'm going to be painting from a photograph today. This is a still life that I did many years ago, and I did a little 6x6 inch version of it, and I really liked it, so I wanted to do a little bit larger version. So today I'm doing an 8x8. And when I used to do still lifes, I would always take pictures of the still life. And then I'd kind of look at them on the computer. Even if I was painting from life, I would take pictures and then kind of play around with compositions. And what I've found is that it's really nice that I have those photographs that I can refer to, because some of the paintings that I've done in the past, like some of these still lifes, I'm like, wow, that's a great painting, or I really like that painting. Sometimes you don't even know at the time, but as you look back, you're like, wow, I'd really like to do another version of that, either larger or make some changes or whatever. So it's nice to have photographs of the still lifes I've done in the past. So anyway, that's the introduction. Let's get started. All right, so sketching in burnt sienna. As usual, I've just thinned the burnt sienna with a bit of odorless mineral spirits. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this drawing was tough. Basically because you got a bowl, which the geometry on that is difficult. The bottle, that was, you want that to be symmetrical. And then eggs and eggshells are all round or oblong or whatever. Basically, all the shapes were difficult. And, for me, my approach is to have solid drawing, but then loose brushwork. So like I've said before, it's this balance between, chaos and order is what fascinates me the most. So I like to have that expressive brushwork, but strong drawing. So basically I'm working from dark to light, and as usual, but I'm keeping my dark. As you notice, the darks are kind of high key. They're not like super dark, but I am still trying to just establish the shapes. And I noticed along the way too that, there was some really nice things happening, even at this stage where it's really loose. And I sat back and I looked at it and I thought, would I be comfortable leaving it this loose? And I didn't think that I would, but I wanted to maintain some of that as I moved forward. And right now, just looking at the footage, it looks like the drawing is pretty good. It's still pretty good. Anyway, coming in here there was like a nice highlight, or not highlight, but the portion of the egg right where it cracked was really light. So I wanted to put that light color on there so that I could adjust the value of the surrounding colors to make sure that I was getting that really light color there. Okay, so now just trying to adjust, again, the background. Adjusting some of the color. I was noticing there was some more red in it, so I was adding some alizarin to it. At one point, though, the background became too opaque, so I kind of had to mess it up with my brush. Like I'd go over with my brush so that I could see some of the panel through it. I do like areas of, of transparency, so it's really important to me to have that. And so, when I lose the transparency, sometimes I'll go over it with, I'll like kind of dry my brush or put a little bit of mineral spirits on it and kind of scrub over the area to get some of that transparency back. Okay, so I just put the highlights on the bottle. And it's kind of hard to see them, but that's another thing that I was, paying attention to through this whole process was I wanted those little highlights to be able to. I had to make the the color underneath the highlights had to be dark enough and maybe cool enough so that those highlights would pop. And I had the same thing on the bowl. Both of them are ceramic, so there's a shine to them. And even though those little highlights, and I'm applying more right now, are very subtle, they really do add to, conveying the fact that it's a shiny surface. So I had to make sure that, that the color underneath was the right value and also the right temperature. So it is really challenging when you're doing high key. It's a lot easier in a painting, I think, when you've got, high contrast to work with. So this was really good. This was a good learning experience. So now I'm just doing a lot of cleaning up and just trying to, again, maintain the looseness but capture the drawing. And that was the biggest challenge with this, because like I said, the drawing, the shapes were really kind of difficult. But it was a pleasurable experience. Like, I really did enjoy painting this. All right, so I spent another half hour cleaning this thing up and making some adjustments. I wanted the egg to have this rounded feel and yet still maintain the loose brushwork. So I kind of softened this edge a little bit. Some of the fluting, I didn't get it, the direction I got kind of wrong there. It was a little wonky in there. Also too, I fussed around a bit with the top of this bowl right here. I think I also in here, I kind of adjusted the shape of this shadow to make it more rounded. When it was squared off, it wasn't really reading properly. Oh, and also too, I did lighten this as well. This was really dark right here. Also, the shadow that was in the back was really dark too. So yeah, I was trying to keep this painting fairly high key and not have a lot of strong darks. So basically the strongest darks are under the bowl here and maybe under the eggs as well at the point of contact where the eggs are resting down below. I can see this glow here. I'm gonna need to fix that because that's not, as I see it on the camera, that's not really reading properly. I've got a good glow right here. That's really good. I really like that. But the others, I'm not sure. It could also be that the camera accentuates this because actually in real life, it doesn't look so bad. But I'll live with it and see. I may need to adjust that. Other than that though, I'm actually really happy with this. I didn't know, the colors are very subdued and very neutral. Aside from this is pretty blue. This is also, there's a lot of purple or violet in this egg here. So I wasn't sure about the color scheme of this, but actually there's something very calm about it. And so yeah, I actually like it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little demo. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm definitely excited to experiment more with some neutral colored subjects. This was kind of an eye-opener for me. The neutral colors there's definitely a different vibe, and I really like it. So I'm gonna do some more experimentation in that direction. Anyway, as usual, a big thanks to my Patreon supporters. It is the Patreon support that allows me to continue making these videos. There's a Patreon link down below. And other than that, thanks for hanging out, guys. Stay creative, and I'll see you in the next video.